live and I'll add you on there. Okay, so if you were on here last week we talked about how to pay yourself. So I'm a share with you guys how I pay myself as an entrepreneur. You know, entrepreneurs, we don't get paychecks on a regular basis. So how we pay ourselves, how I pay myself is different from everybody. Every entrepreneur is different, and I thought I would share this so that other entrepreneurs will get an idea of how to pay yourself. So how I pay myself monthly at the beginning of the month. So as an entrepreneur, we kind of know what we're doing that month. Like if we're traveling, going somewhere, we have to pay a certain bill. So every first of the month, I pay myself for all of my bills. And then if I have anything left over, it goes to next month. And then whatever I make for that month goes into my bank account. So I pay myself once every month, and I look at my goals for the month. So whatever expenses I have that month, I pay myself based on that. If I have money left over, then that's the money that I have. If I don't have money left over, then somewhere something happened and we need to reevaluate. So that's how I pay myself as an entrepreneur. I'm going to let Miss Boss Business Babe introduce herself. Join me on my Instagram. And then you can share. You want to start off with sharing how you pay yourself? And I know you said you found a way for your direct deposit thing too. Start off with sharing how you pay yourself. And I know you said you did. Someone says, I don't understand your explanation about paying yourself. So how I pay myself is going to be different from every entrepreneur. How I pay myself now is not how I pay myself 10 years ago when I started as an entrepreneur. I pay myself at the beginning of the month from my account that I made my money from. So I know how much I made. I know what expenses I have coming in, and I pay myself according to the expenses for the month, just to break that down. I know what expenses I have coming in, and I pay myself according to turn your volume down.
Did you accept the request on Facebook? I mean Instagram?
No, I don't have a request.
On
And turn your volume down on the computer and turn it down on your phone.
maybe because it's right there by each other. Okay, what's the fastest?
Okay, I see you on here.
Okay, there we go. You see it now?
Yep.
All right, there we go. It's coming.
So it seems like a few people are confused on how I pay myself. I didn't explain it, I guess, clearly, maybe?
No, I mean I understood it, but okay, so what exactly is the question?
So as entrepreneurs, I'll let you explain how you pay yourself as an entrepreneur, and then I'll double back on that. So you want to introduce yourself and how you pay yourself as an entrepreneur?
Sure. So my name is Darielle. I'm founder and CEO of Boss Business Babes. We celebrate women entrepreneurship through financial literacy and manifestation. So I'll elaborate more on how I pay myself. So I'm kind of like in a stage now where I'm starting to like purchase bigger assets. And so what I've noticed more so than anything is that the entire culture of finance have caught on to, people opening up businesses, people understanding the e-commerce, social media world, and people really making money. So it's very important for you to first, as a business owner, or honestly, I feel like everybody should have an LLC. And the reason why is because of how I'm about to explain it. So I feel like you should have a business account and you need to have a personal account. And the reason why you need to have both is because at one point they asked me like, okay, well, send over, your last three bank statements. So I sent over my last three bank statements of my business, which is having all this money pouring into it. And they like, oh, that's cool, but we need your personal bank statements. So had I not been smart enough, or had I not been educated enough to say, okay, well, let me set these amount of bank accounts up on the personal side, so I'm able to now pay myself. And so when I say pay myself, meaning just as if I was at a 9 to 5 and I get my check direct deposit, or I take that check and cash it, that's me paying myself. So if you want me to break it down in percentage wise, if I'm an entrepreneur and I'm bringing in, let's say for instance, I brought in $500 for the day. Regardless of whatever that is, I first need to understand my profit margin when it comes to me having an actual product or service product. All of your overhead needs to basically be calculated up. And once it's calculated up, you'll know out of that $500, okay, well, this was the amount of money that I put into it. Aside from that, what you need to do now is figure out, okay, what is my inventory money? Like how can I go and re-up? How can I go and regroup, right? And this is aside from the amount of money that you've already put into it. Like, this is different. This is your marketing money. So outside of that, now you get to where your business has its money, and then you are paying yourself as a business owner, paying yourself as a CEO, paying yourself as the manager, paying yourself as the operators, management, whatever your title is, you're supposed to pay yourself a percentage of that entire income that you have coming in. You're supposed to do that as well if you have a regular 9 to 5 to job. However your income is coming in, you need to break it down so you can get ahead. And you, as a business owner, definitely need to have that business bank account, and you need to have those personal business bank accounts, and you need to be running minimum $10,000 through here. So if your 9 to 5 is only bringing in $5,000 or $6,000 for the month, your minimum goal on the side hustle side, on the Uber side, Lyft side, Uber Eats, whatever you're doing on the side, business side, it needs to be minimum the four or whatever the difference is. But you need the full on $10,000 to run through these business bank accounts and these personal bank accounts, and make sure you're paying yourself.
Very well said. So that was a really good that was a really good explanation. So maybe y'all understand more so now how I pay myself. So every entrepreneur is different. And so I have a business account, I have a personal account, I have a savings account, and I have an investment account. So how my business is set up is different from every other entrepreneur because we are all in different areas. My investment account is an account that I use to bring money back because a savings account is not bringing me in any money, but that investment account is money that I can be able to play around with or be able to use to do other things that will make $1,000 $5,000. So you just really gotta have those incomes coming in so that you are able to put different percentages in different places.
So
I
that's
think it's
good that you.
echoing because of your end, maybe.
I put my other when I heard that, I put my MacBook on mute.
Okay.
So they shouldn't hear it. But I love the fact that you touched on your investment account, guys, because just as if you're working a 9 to 5, you need to put aside, you need to have an IRA. You definitely need to have an IRA. And an IRA is basically an investment retirement account. Is where your money is compounding for you, and it's basically, I guess, it's a safety net for when you retire. And you can do, well, no, that's the insurance, but you can figure out if you want to do it through your Navy Federal account, if you want to do it through Fidelity. You can research who has the better terms. But as an entrepreneur, as a business owner, or even if you have a 9 to 5, you still need to establish an IRA so you're able to really compound and take your money to the next level. And again, guys, when you're hearing gems like this, like make sure you're writing them down and going to research what it is that we're talking about so you can better understand what it is that you need to do. Like I said, you can call these IRAs, these companies, and they will send you a packet that fully explains what it is or how it is that you can compound your money over time.
Perfect. Great. So, is there anybody on the Zoom who would like to share how they pay themselves as an entrepreneur? Don't be afraid to unmute yourself if you're a realtor, investor, entrepreneur, whatever field. If you want to share, go ahead and do so. If not, I'll welcome Giovanna. Well, did you have anything else you want to share?
I mean, I do, but I want them to ask questions on where they're at, like when it comes to their business, just so we can. I'm sorry. I wanted to. Can you hear me? Yeah. So I wanted to like ask what specifically somebody might need in the group, what question they might have, like what type of business do you guys have, where are you guys stuck at, how are you guys really understanding money, and do you guys really understand financial literacy is the education of a dollar and how it's to be handled, and how to move it here and how to have that motion behind it, because I think so many people get wrapped up in just saying, oh, I'm a business owner, oh, I'm gonna do this for a living, that they don't understand that the whole purpose of those is just little titles to say, well, this time I'm gonna get my money, I'm gonna get my money this way, I'm gonna get my money that way, so you can then better go on and execute and compound and all those good things. So if anybody like have any specific questions, then y'all should ask them so we can answer them, because we got all the gems in the world, but we don't want to be giving y'all gems for you being on step 25 and they really, you know what I'm saying?
Well, let me break down how to pay yourself, because I feel like a lot of people, we got a tax person who's going to come on and explain paying the IRS and tax tips and stuff like that. But when it comes to paying yourself as an entrepreneur, now you got to think like an entrepreneur in order to pay yourself like an entrepreneur. You can't just pop out there with a, no disrespect, but with like a 9 to 5 mindset if you want to be paid like an entrepreneur. So let's say you have this $100 and you got a bill due on Friday that's $100. You got to flip this $100 5 times so that when Friday comes, you can put $400 in the bank and you can pay that $100 bill. But if you holding on to that $100, when Friday comes, you're going to be broke. You're not going to have anything to work with. So that's all a part of paying yourself first. When people say pay yourself first, that's exactly what they mean. Like, know where to put that money so that it's making more money. And this is not just about real estate. This can go to any business. You just have to know how to pay yourself first. Someone says, I'm thinking and getting my LLC, but I have a few doubts. How do you know when to invest all back into the business versus paying yourself?
I think that you suppose, because a lot of people in the beginning stages, they don't pay themselves, which I think is crazy. Like you shouldn't be trying to get to a goal so fast that you're not able to like really enjoy the moment. I think that's more important than just, you know what I'm saying, just being like miserable and trying to get to a goal. So I think that you guys should always take a portion and put it to the side. Like that's just finances. You have to be able to break that money down like that. Like you have to put money aside to go into each and every category so your system that you have created can continue to run.
Someone said my sons are my employees. So as your employees, your tax accountant should be able to guide you on how to pay them so you can use that as a write-off at the end of the year. So my son, he's 12, he works for the company. I can use him as a write-off because he's an employee of the company. So your tax accountant should be able to assist you with that information. Do you guys have individual accounts to pay taxes? So this is something that I did this year. As far as having individual accounts to pay taxes, I do put it into a separate account, but I just started doing this like 5 years ago. But I should have started doing it from day one. But yes, so as of now, I do have a different account where I will put like a percentage each month into that account. Do you? How do you pay yours? Do you do it like quarterly or?
I pay my taxes quarterly.
Okay.
Yeah. I
Someone
don't wait till the
says
end of the year.
someone says I add up all my bills and pay myself 3,000 a month, so I pay myself 7,000 total. Perfect. All right.
Mhm.
I'm gonna let Miss Giovanna come on. Thanks for joining me. We are definitely gonna be going live, me and you, on Facebook soon. So if y'all have a Facebook, make sure y'all join us over there. And I'll talk to you later.
All right. Thank y'all.
Bye bye.
Bye bye.
All right, Giovanna, I'm ready on Instagram. We're good on Zoom, but meet me on my IG, Female School Flip. And if there are any members on the Zoom that has questions, I am going to put this class in the membership portal. Usually all the classes are real estate related. Okay, I see you. You just got to add me. Okay, I got it. All righty.
Okay.
So, you guys, I invited Miss Wright. She's the owner of Right Way to Go Tax Services. She's going to be coming on here giving us some information about paying taxes. If you guys have any tax questions or need tax help for this year, now is really like the time to start planning to pay your taxes for next year. So while she's here, I'll let you introduce yourself. I guess if you want to give us like the elevator pitch or
Got it. Okay. So I am Giovanna Wright. I am the owner of Right Way to Go Tax Service, Right Way to Go Logistics, and then I also have Right Way to Go Property Management. Um, my main goal is to help moms transition from their 9 to 5s and really kind of understand the bottom line number that it takes to be you. So I was the person in the chat that put down that I pay myself $3,000 a month just for myself, but I also add up all of my bills monthly, which are 4,000. So monthly, I pay myself $7,000, and I transfer that from the business account to my personal account. Okay, so I pay myself. I mean, I'm sorry. I pay my taxes annually, so I don't pay quarterly. So that might be a little different for me, and that's because I own multiple LLCs. So each business has a purpose and a bill, in my opinion, that it supports. So my trucking company basically pays for my housing. My property management company kind of takes care of the kids and my investments. And then Right Way to Go Tax Service kind of is just like my bread and butter. So I basically add, each business has to bring in so much money each month. So I'm just really good with numbers. I break it down. I know exactly how much it costs to be me. And I think that the sooner that you understand that concept, the better you can understand what your business needs to do.
that's true. Like that's really important. Like you gotta understand you as a person, what type of bills you got, what kind of debt you need to get rid of. It's just really about you as a person. That's a really, really good gem.
Yes. So it's very important, in my opinion, to just kind of like break everything down. You need to know how much it is for groceries every month. You need to know how much it is for housing every month. My children are involved in multiple sports. I have a son that plays D1 basketball. So I also have to budget out me getting him back and forth, from school. So I'm just really particular when it comes down to my budget. So each business has to do XYZ in order for me to live the lifestyle, that I want to live, and I'm not flamboyant. My thing is making sure that my kids have everything they need. So I'm really big on making sure that they understand what it is to be an entrepreneur. Me and my daughter have the t-shirt business, so I'm teaching her how it is as far as her expenses and things like that. So it's just really important as an entrepreneur to know numbers. If you don't understand your numbers, then that's when your business, in my opinion, might fail. I don't do a lot of write-offs because I want to be able to get these loans and not necessarily loans, grants. So if I'm writing off everything and it's looking like I'm making, $12,000 a month to get EIC, I'm not going to get the real money, So I do pay taxes, and I pay at least over 10,000 for all of my businesses. So basically I just put that money to the side. So I'm not going to be, the tax person that says, oh yeah, write everything off, because they want your financial statements. So they want to make sure that you're making the money to be able to loan you this money so that way you can pay it back. So I'm not, I'm not one of those people that's going to say, just like I said, just write everything off, because you want to be able to show that your business is profitable. You don't want to show a loss, every time. And I understand maybe the first year or two, you might have a loss, but you don't want to consistently have losses, because you're not going to be able to scale your business, in my opinion.
Okay, so what are some things people should look for when they're hiring an accountant, CPA, somebody to do their work? Because the tax industry is very huge right now, especially with social media. It seems like so many people do it. So what will be some tips for them to hire an accountant or CPA?
Okay. Making sure that that person does tax planning. Because like you said, right now is a tax planning season. So you want to make sure that they're knowledgeable in tax planning, looking at your finances, if not monthly, quarterly, so that way they understand exactly how much money it is that you're bringing. So that way they can finance, so they can do your books and make sure that they're giving you tips on how to basically be profitable. Okay, so again, like I said, I'm not going to be the tax person that's going to say, okay, we're going to take, XYZ write off so that way you can get the EIC. I'm not going to be that person. I want you to be able to show that your business is making money. So you want to make sure that, like I said, the person is giving you a tax planner, which will basically give you hints as far as business expenses. So that is one of the things that I email to my clients. So that way they understand that you can write off postage. That way they understand that you can write off, mileage. That way they understand as far as the deduction, as far as meals, because right now it's 100%. So all of my clients, we meeting and going out to eat because we can take 100% of those meals as far as deductions. So you just want to make sure that you're hiring somebody that is breaking everything down to you, so that way you understand, in my opinion.
Okay, cool.
As far as like that won't significantly hurt your business. As far as like when you're trying to get, I guess these grants or lending for a project that you're working on or anything like that.
So what are some good tax write-offs?
Yeah, so because I know she mentioned lunches, but what are like kind of like the top five are like these are good write-offs, like these things